It is I, leader of the Crimson Guard, your main man with two minds, coming to you to speak about systems. Now, in systems, what do you want? Now, I'll tell you what I want. I'll tell you what I want, and you'll listen. That's right. Sit there, post the ears out, Ross Perot style, and hear into your nugget words of wisdom. This is overall a huge problem for new players. And I have taught so many new players loads of different systems over the years. I think AD&D seemed to be one of the more difficult systems because it was so absurdly unintuitive. It's up, down, over here, let's go to the left. Let's take the dice and throw them against our face now. There are some pretty wonky, bizarre rules that were quite confusing to a lot of players in that edition of the game. Now, the reason for that is the mechanics. They take time to work the kinks out of. Fair enough, we're talking about an old game here. But in a lot of editions of games, the rules are almost like pollution. There's so ridiculously many of them, and they seem to be written thinking that you are in fact a moron. It's like, well, we better give you a stat here to roll for your dehydration. It's like, really? We're going to roll the hydration now off this complex chart that I have to look in the back of the book? Here's where rules fail, when I have to open the book up. That's when they fail. The system needs to be fluid and easy to understand. That's the goal. Here's when a system succeeds. Set someone down who wants to play a role-playing game, but yet has never played one before. Spend 10 intense minutes talking to them, and have them have to ask you no more than 2 questions in an 8-hour game period where they had to roll dice a lot. If that's the case, the game system succeeded. If they don't ask any questions and they're rolling and they're getting the numbers correct, they're getting everything back to you, amazing job of the system. Amazing job of the explanation on your part of the system. Now, some of these systems, the rules are hyper complex. I don't know who wants that. I don't. I've been doing this for 25 and a half years. Rules, who wants that? I know there are a lot of guys out there who've been playing for a long time that don't want huge amounts of rules, and new players absolutely do not. It's a thing that intimidates a new person in a game. Like, oh, I don't want to learn 97.3 rules per hour. They want to just, okay, this is how you hit somebody. This is how you make this roll. This is how you make this roll. And when they're all the same, it's the same deal. It's the same dice. It's the same fluid, intuitive idea. It makes sense. It's like, okay, well, I don't know how to do this, but I want to do it. I know I'm probably going to have to roll this, right? And I do this and this, and then I do this, I roll? Yeah, man, you figured it out. Hell, I don't even have to tell you, it's your first time. Oh, well, that's how I do it? Yeah. And the next time, they're like, they roll it, boom, and it's there. And the system should also be fun. It should reward you. It should be explosive and flavorful and enjoyable. There's a lot of ways that you can make a system fun and easy. You should be able to remember it. You should be able to be explained in 10 minutes how to work the system as a player and not have any problems. Sure, you might need to reread a spell. You might need to reread what your advantages do. You might need to take a little time to read through and pick your advantages or your merits or your class powers or whatever they are. But even those shouldn't be so complex that you have to read them over and over and over again to understand them, maybe 3-4 times. You should be pretty much good with them. They shouldn't be so abundant or so intimidating, because that's what you don't want. You want the game to attract people. We need our hobby to grow. And having to sit down with a enormous set of rules and learn them is problematic. Having to sit there and flip through book after book and look things up, it's horrifying. I've never, ever seen anyone enjoy that. I have never, ever seen anyone enjoy flipping through rules and looking stuff up. Now, there's jackass rules lawyers out there who enjoy ruining your time, but they're not enjoying looking the thing up. They just want to be contrary and argue and cause problems. They have problems. You understand? So, that is something. For me, this is the idea of, does the system work? Does it allow you to see the character here and then character creation make them there? Does it allow you to explain the system to someone in 10 minutes and have them be able to run with it? Not not an experienced seasoned gamer, like somebody off just out to do something. Now, I'm not talking about somebody that's seriously stupid. I'm talking about somebody of average to above average intellect. 10 minutes of serious going over. Okay, I do this? Yes. That's how you do this. That's how you do that. That's how you do this. That's how you do that. Try it? Okay, yeah, okay. We're good. 10 minutes. A system needs to have enough complexity that it takes a few minutes to explain. It's not, just, that simple. It has to have some degree of challenge to it, but it can't really bring players into the game when it has so many sets and sets and sets upon rules that function differently, that are confusing. And I've seen people that have run games for years, the same game, and they're like, well, I have to go look that rule up. It's like, well, wait a minute. You run this game for about 19.7 years, and you had to go look that rule up. Oh, yeah, I did. We got some problems with the system, don't we, Bubba? That's not a good thing for a system. I want to hear what you think. You know what your main man thinks, for I have put it upon your mind. Let me know what you think. Systems, how do you want to see them, if you will?